Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome you to episode 5 of our Ixion Let's Play, where things are finally starting to look somewhat stable. I'm sure chaos is right around the corner, but the first thing that's going to happen this session, I think more or less, is the completion of the EVA airlock at Sector 2, which means our hull integrity situation will be more or less tackled for the time being, because we'll have that extra plus 45 to try and bring balance to the damage being done per cycle. That will be the biggest, I think, source of stress and tension taken care of, while at the same time we'll take a look at producing more alloys more consistently as well, of course. Separately though, if we just take a look at the working conditions across Sector 2 and Sector 1, we'll see that they're both using extra hours, but at the same time as well, if we take a look at stability, we'll see happiness across Sector 1 and Sector 2 both. In fact, their trust is also at 100% across both sectors, so that means we should be able to go in and shut down these alternative life centers that we've built across both sectors, as suggested in the comments of the previous episode. Doing so will free up 10 workers per sector, and while in Sector 2, all that does is open up some workers to work at the EVA airlock when it finally does open up. In Sector 1, that should be enough to actually get us to optimal working conditions, and that further improves the rate at which hull repair continues, as you can see at the bottom of the list there. So that's all well and good, but I'm still glad that we built these alternative life centers and did the research for the technology, because if at any point in time our stability does drop to 0 or below, I want to make sure I can turn these bad boys on immediately and counteract any potential threat of, strikes or injuries or whatever else it might be, accidents at the workplace. And so I wanted these guys researched and built so that, again, we're able to move in and make adjustments as needed right away. Now, on the topic of making adjustments, let's go ahead and make some adjustments to what's going on in the system map mode, where we're finally going to send the Galileo looking at Jupiter. I think, again, like I said, we're in that stable zone now where we can start taking a bit of a risk here and there and send an expedition to Jupiter to see exactly what's been going on. And at the same time, I do think we might be able to sustain additional people. So let's, yes, keep bringing these 40 cryopods over to try and, thaw them and see if we can end up with some more workers to, again, bring working conditions to optimal across both sectors. I don't think we have to expand any further, so instead we're going to go ahead and engage with the situation at Jupiter, especially because we do still have some mechanics that are locked, and I would like to unlock them just to see what kind of benefits they could bring us. Now, I should also actually, on that note, make sure these houses get built. It'll be a little bit of time. I do believe we have alloys about to come through. That's okay. These guys will get done soon enough. We have a little bit of homelessness, but hopefully it's not too much. Yeah, we'll be fine. We will be just fine. Now, as I was saying, back to the sector map over here, and to giving new orders to the Galileo after we take care of this event at Uranus. Now, I was quite surprised to see that the vast majority of you, if not all of you in the comments of the previous episode, wanted to avoid cutting the tree down. Now, I say that without any kind of judgment or anything. I was just surprised. I thought I'd see a 50-50 split or like a 20-80 split, but no, I think it was pretty much all of you that wanted to keep the tree up. One of you even pointed out that it had very Humans in Pandora vibes, referencing the Avatar movie from so long ago, whose sequel, I guess, is coming out this week, right? So that was funny, but also separately, I saw a very interesting comment that I thought I'd share with you, because it's a bit of a cultural inflection point that, well, it flew right past me, and it might have flew past many of you as well. But apparently, and I apologize for butchering any pronunciations here, but apparently, Tane Mahuta is the name of a very famous kauri tree, which is about 1,200 to 2,500 years old, located in New Zealand. And the tree itself is named after the Maori god of the forest, Tane. Again, I apologize if I'm butchering any of those pronunciations, but I thought that was really compelling and interesting, so thank you very much for sharing that. But yes, I think we should keep this tree up, not just for its sentimental value and also the sheer awe of how it works, but also because of, hopefully, the resources it'll provide. And if need be, we can always come back and change our mind, but if we cut it down, there's no coming back from that, right? So we will leave Uranus, and we'll get the Galileo chasing after Jupiter. Oh, you know what? No, that decision was final. It's okay. I'm sticking with it. I'd expect to be able to come back to cut the tree down at a later point in time, but I understand why the game wouldn't allow that. Nonetheless, it's fine. over to Jupiter we go. Shouldn't take us very long, and we'll see what's actually going on with the story. And folks, as we move time forward, I just want to mention really quickly, if you've been enjoying this series and you haven't yet subscribed because you weren't sure if it was going to continue on and on, well, let me assure you, I am absolutely hooked. So I intend to take the series to its conclusion, and you might want to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all that. Plus, on top of that, folks, if you're looking for a great community to hang out with and just share stories with or play games with, you might want to check out the Discord linked in the description down below as well. And of course, if you've been enjoying the series, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As I say time and time again, the numbers just let me know what people are interested in on the channel. And apart from that, I do read all of the comments, and I do take them all to heart and make adjustments accordingly. So yeah, leave those likes and comments to let me know you're having a good time, and to let me know if you've spotted something that I've missed. But beyond that as well, don't hesitate to subscribe, because this show is here to stay, folks, as we arrive at Jupiter and investigate the next steps of our mysterious tale. Hephaestus. Summary of intelligence on Hephaestus site. The coordinates recovered from the black box of Outer Hope have allowed us to successfully locate the Hephaestus construction facility on Jupiter. Transmission from the Galileo's team. Using the encrypted channels and Dulles communication protocols found on Outer Hope to access the Hephaestus site seems to have woken the resident PA diagnostics reveal that Wait, hold on, what? There's some punctuation missing there. Oh, I see. Woken the resident PA. End sentence. Diagnostics reveal that prior to the failure of the site's data archiving systems, the facility had been inactive for several decades. Strangely, the industrial zone is currently powered and operational. Several decades. Have we had like a huge time skip as well as arriving at the same location? That must be it. That's the only real explanation, because we've missed so much action, so many battles in space, so much work from the Dulles Corporation and others, the establishment of an entire market. Sure, the Galileo team will proceed to the industrial zone to investigate the industrial zone. Yes, absolutely. 3 cycles it will take, and that should give us some time to focus on our circumstances back in here, where alloys are still being produced at, an all-right rate, I would say. And hull integrity, plus 14. Oh, why is that? I guess it just must be because of the extra efficiency at 95%. Fair enough. I mean, I'll take it. Again, the more damage we have, the more efficient we are at repairing it, so that's good to see. And let's just make sure that we are, in fact, bringing in iron. Yes, we can't really stop the flow of that, because, yes, iron is absolutely essential for literally everything, though a close-ish second, I suppose, are polymers, which we are maxed out on right now. So why don't we go ahead and build another probe, perhaps 2 or 3, just to see if there are other points of interest that we should investigate, while science is also at the point where we can research one more technology. And I just wonder if it's not a good idea to get the polymer refinery done, or do we chase after memorials under the same logic as as which we chased after the Alternative Life Center? No, I think it's finally time for the polymer refinery, and hopefully we'll unlock the ability to actually upgrade our technologies at some point in time soon. It seems, why are these guys locked? Technology tier 3 is required to unlock this. Okay, so we just got to get further up. And how do we get further up? Is it just by completing everything? Yes, from the previous tier. Okay, so polymer refinery next, and then memorials soon after, and that'll hopefully allow us to get some upgrades going. But why don't we go ahead and, yes, switch you on, flip to extra hours, but I think that's okay. My goodness, hull integrity now negative 36. Oh, we don't have alloys. That's why. That's why. We're producing them up over here, but we're still out of alloys up over here as well, eh? Slowly working away. 15 alloys per cycle is not very fast, but as long as we're able to supply enough alloys up over here, it lasts some time before it runs out, right? And I did notice something interesting over here. The crew of the mining ship Cataphract have become more experienced. This mining ship now extracts resources at a rate of 0.6 per cycle. Cool. I didn't realize that experience gain for our ships was a thing, but that's really cool to see. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and speed time up a little bit. Yes, this is scary, but like I said, when we have this EVA airlock up and running, we'll be able to just repair everything double time, as long as, of course, we're able to provide the alloys. And I just wonder if we can't go seeking out alloys in the greater system here, with the help, of course, of our probes. Let's go ahead and send a probe out to where? I'm looking for a point of interest, I suppose, if I'm trying to find a resource dump, right? So, looks like there's one near here. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Must be another planet. So, let's go ahead and chase after that, just to see if we can't, yes, get some more direct alloys shipped in, so we don't have to worry about process. We just need a bit of a kickstart, right? get another probe built, and let's go ahead and take a look at, in 0.1 cycles, Jupiter. Again, yes, I could go chasing after science a bit more. I know I've left some at Uranus, don't worry, but we'll pursue that in a bit as we have to take care of the steel mill. Are you for real? The one thing we can't have suffering an accident decides to go down. Okay, we need this repaired right away because hull integrity now is very, very scary. What's the situation up over here? Still no alloys, eh? Okay. We're okay. Repairs shouldn't take too long, right? Explosion occurred, preventing proper operation. Yikes, this is very scary. And again, don't forget that if hull integrity drops below 25%, we lose that +1, so people here are neutral now. Still not the end of the world, but obviously somewhat concerning. And what do we have over here? Another event available. Administrator, the integrity of the hull fell below 25%. What will we be able to achieve if the Tiqqun breaks apart? Not much. Pledge to restore the hull to 50% within 15 cycles. We should be able to pull that off. Yeah, let's go ahead and make that promise. And let's also go ahead and take a look at the greater system map to see what's going down at Jupiter. Transmission from the Galileo's team at the Hephaestus site. We have reached the automated construction site, which, despite its age, is still in good working condition. Although the Dolos technology here is recognizable, it is much more advanced than what we have on board the Tiqqun. In the control room for the site, we came across a mausoleum dedicated to Leria Fraus. The resident PA identified us as Dolos personnel and granted us access to data records. These confirmed that the Hephaestus site was used to construct and house an advanced prototype of the Vol engine, codenamed Ixion. Oh, hello. An engine of this type is currently moored to an EKP structure with a harness link. Our engineers say one of our mining ships could tow this. Attaching the Ixion engine to the Tiqqun will restore our Vol jump capabilities. Alright, okay. I don't think we need to rush that. We could extract Ixion from the atmosphere of Jupiter. A mining ship will be dispatched to the Hephaestus site and attached to the Ixion's harness. Ixion will be extracted from Jupiter's atmosphere, ready for installation. Do we need to rush that? Hang on a second. Right now, our mining ship needs to prioritize what? If we take a look at our fleet, there is plenty more iron out there for collection, so I guess we don't have to rush the mining of it. So yeah, I guess we could bring the Ixion over. Fair enough, because really it's all about the whale bringing that iron back home rather than mining what's left to get some additional stuff sent in. All right, fair enough. Over to Jupiter. Why don't we go ahead and extract Ixion from the atmosphere of Jupiter and send the cataphract over to do exactly that. 1.7 cycles is not a very long commitment, so that's all well and good. The mining ship is making its way over. And this probe is on its way, but we do have a second one ready to move as well. We should perhaps seek out more iron, though at the same time, again, I keep wondering about more points of interest to just give us direct access to things like alloys, right? Do we have anything nearby? Doesn't seem to be the case. Something down over here. We're already headed there. Thank you, game. What about... we might have actually investigated all the points of interest. What about all the way out over here? I thought I saw a ring out there. Yeah, I do. I see a ring out here. Come on, what do we got? Anything? No. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe that's not a ring. Okay, fair enough. Going too far out, maybe. Oh, there's something over here. Come on. Some good mining spots. Point of interest? Oh, we're already headed there. God damn it, game. You had me for a second. You had me. All right, in that case, let's seek out maybe some additional iron. Seems like there's a bit of a hotspot for a few things down here, including water, or ice, I should say. Why don't we pop you down over here? Sure. And we'll get some more probes going shortly, I think. For the time being, we can stay focused on the tasks at hand, which is producing or otherwise acquiring alloys. The EVA airlock over here is being built up, which is promising, because that means all the new alloy that gets produced is going to go straight to our EVA airlocks to try and resume repairs. I mean, this is, yes, kind of scary, but I think we'll be okay. Now, both sectors are seeing neutral stability. This is a point where we could, yes, absolutely turn these guys on, but I don't think we need to, because pretty soon we'll be out of this hole, and things will be smooth sailing once more. Though over here, we're about halfway through our research. Once this is done, we'll shut the tech lab off again, just to make sure that at least working conditions are optimal wherever possible. Come on, get to work over here. Are we shipping alloys over? Let's go ahead and make sure that our resource management is actually looking okay. Sector 2, you keep 5 alloys. Sector 1, you're aiming for 40. I think that should be okay. And it was actually pointed out that we should maybe get more than the bare minimum amount of food set up in Sector 2, which is probably a good call. So we're doing 8 right now, which is over the bare minimum. But why don't we go ahead and aim for, let's say, 10 in Sector 2. And Sector 1 actually needs about 21. So let's go ahead and aim for 25 over here. Let's see if we can't find a sweet balance. And did we actually acquire more workers? I think we did, right? Because we were pulling in additional cryopods. That's not where I meant to go. I meant to go here. I don't know if we've pulled them yet, but I should actually head on out over here and make sure we're not picking up the 200 from Jupiter.
A sector is being overworked.
The sector is being overworked. Is that our, yes, situation up over here? Who can I shut down here? Or do I bring some people over instead? Now, over here, working conditions are causing some issues, getting us to negative stability. That's where this bad boy could come in handy, but let's just take a moment to make some adjustments elsewhere if needed. Like, could I shut down, for example, the infirmary? No, quite a few crew are actually hospitalized right now, so that's not going to fly. We could instead, of course, bring additional people over. We have 166 workers with 180 needed in Sector 1. Whereas in Sector 2, we're seeing 63, where 73 are needed. So if we send over, let's say, from Sector 1 to Sector 2, an additional 10 workers, we'll have optimal conditions, I think, in Sector 2, and Sector 1 will end up overworked, but we're going to shut the tech lab down, right? So let's start this migration. It'll take a bit of time to happen, and shortly afterwards, we should be able to yes, shut this boy down, and hopefully things will be okay, as integrity is improving at an all-right rate now. Plus 55 per cycle. Overworked conditions in Sector 2 are causing some harm, so hopefully that'll go away soon. And yeah, everything's looking all right, as long as we can keep alloy flowing, which hopefully won't be a problem right now, because we have plenty of iron aboard the Tiqqun. So it's just a matter of getting it processed, and I think we now have the time to do that, with nothing else being researched. Sorry, with nothing else being built, as I get distracted by our research being completed, and the opportunity to shut this tech lab off and get us back to, yes, optimal working conditions in Sector 1. 196 people in Sector 1, 63 in Sector 2, but of these 196, only 166 are workers, with 30 non-workers. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Hopefully our following batches of people will have more... we'll have more actual workers, right? Let's build some more pros, because we just have a stockpile of polymers over here that we don't need. And there's that crew member transfer completed, with these guys still being overworked. Did I do something with my math here? 63 workers. Oh, did we only transfer non-workers? That's not what I need. That's not what I need at all. Let's go ahead and move. Sorry, I should have flipped this to only workers. From up here, we're going to get 10 people down to Sector 2. From Sector 1 to Sector 2. Yes. Hopefully that'll work out nicely. That was a mistake on my part. Not the end of the world, though. 10 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Let's go. All right, good stuff. The trouble is that as the population over here grows, we'll need to worry about building more housing, obviously, which might actually be coming right up. As down over here, I just want to get rid of the notification of, yes, the polymer refinery that we do not yet need, but we have access to now when we do need it. All right, we'll see when crew gets transferred over, the overworked conditions dropping. If I turn this on, at least we end up at neutral. People are still just overworked, but again, at least stability is at neutral. We'll flip it back off when those workers arrive. But that's, again, exactly why I wanted this to be unlocked, right? Meanwhile, over here, we are almost done at Jupiter. The Galileo should head on over to, Saturn, to see what's going on over here. Currently investigating an event. Oh, it's still involved at Jupiter? All right, fair enough, fair enough. Let's speed time up a little bit, as you are recycling waste, which I could get a stockpile set up for, I believe, right? Yes. So we need a different policy for it, apparently. All right, population transfer complete. 73 workers. What's going on here? How many workers do we actually need? Have I... 83. We're still overworked. Again, it's percentage-based, right? We are still overworked? Okay. Send another 5 workers over from Sector 1 to Sector 2. At least get them on onto extra hours, right? At least that. I could turn this off. They're to extra hours. The additional 5 should maybe get them optimized, whereas these guys are currently optimal without the need of any any alternative life centers or anything. No alloys up over here. These guys are producing some, hopefully. Hopefully this will speed up a little bit. And again, as long as alloys are available at one EVA airlock or another, we'll see some repairs happening. It seems as though both of them are getting some work done right now. And look at that.
Transfer complete.
As long as we have enough alloys, we are seeing a very quick rate of repair. So I think we'll be okay as population transfer gets completed. Sector 1 and Sector 2 are both happy, and they both have optimal or extra hours as their working conditions, which isn't too bad. Meanwhile, over here at Jupiter, what do we have happening? Transmission from the Galileo's team at the Hephaestus site. The extraction procedure was a success. Hephaestus' PA helped us a lot during the operation, and she may try to contact the Tiqqun directly. May we follow the self-similar pattern. 45 science available here. Sounds good to me. And separately, we can prepare Ixion for Tiqqun connection. The Tiqqun needs to be in orbit of Jupiter. Okay, before we do that, let's go ahead and allow our station to repair itself a little bit, and let's take advantage of everything that's available in the locality, right? Let's try and empty out maybe at least the iron over here. There's quite a bit left to mine, and hopefully we are picking it up as well. Yes, let's go ahead and send out an additional probe as well. Where to? If we're going to be in the orbit of Jupiter soon, let's try and find good resource deposits in the area, and looks like we've actually stumbled across one immediately. Just so that we're mining from more optimal locations, right? So, sure. Over here. Sounds good to me. Iron and silicon both. Send you that way. And why don't we go ahead and build yet another probe, because we do have so many polymers available. And we'll send that bad boy out soon enough. All right, lots of bad boys this episode. My apologies. It's like that's the phrase of the day right now, as both of our EVA airlocks are able to repair the infrastructure. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. What can we look at as far as our tech tree is concerned? Memorials is the last step. Maybe we'll pursue that when we have enough science, and then we can move forward from there. As separately, I almost wonder if I shouldn't set up an additional food stockpile. Can we get a road coming back over here? We can, which would allow me to establish another stockpile over here, which might not be a terrible idea, just to make sure we're, again, always producing like as much food as possible. Let's go ahead and get, where are we? A small stockpile set up over here like so. And yeah, let's maximize our food storage as we see this accident over here hopefully get taken care of quickly. And as we head on over to the science being collected at Jupiter, which means the Galileo can head on over down to Saturn. Yeah, sure, we can collect the science at Uranus later. Down to Saturn we go. You're still investigating an event. Of course. My apologies. What's going on here? Oh, the same thing. Oh, can we not abandon this? Are we seriously trapped here until we're done? Ah, fair enough. A little unfortunate. Not the end of the world, but a little unfortunate. We do want to improve our hull integrity before we go over. I think I would like to be at about maybe 50%, which isn't too far away. Power is looking okay. We're fully charged up as far as batteries are concerned. They'll last us 3.6 cycles in Sector 2 and 3.3 in Sector 1. I don't think traveling to Jupiter should take us that many cycles. It should be pretty fast, I hope, and we'll be okay. But let's get this food stockpile done. Up over here, everything's looking like relatively smooth sailing. Okay. If we can just get these things shipped a bit faster, and I just wonder when we'll actually get the specialization. Like, how many factories do I have to place before we get that specialization? And separately, I wonder if I shouldn't focus on building some more of these docking bays. They take 12 workers, eh? We currently have 151 in Sector 1 and 78 in Sector 2, as separately I see we've accomplished our objective to get us past 50% within a certain amount of time. I think we were very close. I saw the number in red over there as it was disappearing. I think we were very, very close to failing that mission, but things went well enough, as I do contemplate, acquiring more survivors. I keep thinking about cargo and looking at that. I mean this. I could prioritize you a little bit. We have 127 iron. Sure, let's go ahead and increase the priority of getting people in. Just got to keep an eye on housing and stuff like that, obviously, and making sure the right people end up at the right places. But if we take a look at the system map really quickly, we'll see what we'll see. We've got people in the debris field that we're avoiding, people in the asteroid belt that I think we've prioritized. So if we could pick these guys up, clear out the 40 there, I think we'll be in a good position. But where is our cargo ship, actually? Where are you at, buddy? Hey, where are you, actually? Can't spot him right off the bat, but that's okay. We do have another probe we can send out. Where to? Anything near Jupiter? Again, just to make sure we're mining stuff as close as possible. There's carbon up over here, not a rush. More iron in the area up over here. Didn't we already spot that, though? What else? What else? More ice. Not that we need it yet, but I guess it's alright to know where it's available from. Nah, nothing else in the area, I think, apart from this carbon deposit. Alright, any other points of interest somewhere? I don't think so. We might have actually hit all the points of interest, which is good. Which means, like, we might actually be ready to move on after we've mined everything. Because obviously we don't want to leave anything out here if possible. Though at the same time, we don't want to construct stockpiles and have working conditions issues either. A couple things to keep balanced. Lots of iron out there. I don't think I want to leave without producing as many alloys as possible. There is another point of interest out here somewhere, isn't there? Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, the faintest of orbit lines there. Let's go ahead and pursue that. Excellent. I knew there was something out there. I knew it. All right. Are things looking good enough for us to move? Maybe. This is a central enough location. All the iron's over here. The people are available nearby. There's food, silicon, iron. Sure. Why don't we go ahead and move the Tiqqun over to Jupiter and free up the Galileo as well. So it should take us, what, 2.3 cycles. We have enough batteries to last us the entire journey, and things should be A-okay. Let's pop on over. And yes, all power from the main grid will be diverted to the EKP system during the 2.3 cycle Tiqqun movement. Sectors will be powered by batteries during this time. We should be just fine. Let's make a move. And why don't we actually observe our movement over here, because look at that. My goodness. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at like the space dust and all the little particles coming off of our ship itself, you know? As we zoom past the Earth, my goodness. A husk of its former self, indeed. Away we go. Moving towards Jupiter, way off in the distance. I do like that the game actually animates this. You don't just teleport or, I don't know, some weird way of obfuscating it. We should see it off in the distance, and I'd love to show our arrival as well, actually, because we should start, popping like reverse thrusters and stuff. We kind of missed it when we went to the moon way back in episode 1, but we can certainly check it out now, as our batteries are still doing okay. They should be able to hold up, and they'll recharge as soon as we arrive at Jupiter. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that, the sun off in the distance. Oh man, real J.J. Abrams vibes over there. How far away are we? I don't want to miss our arrival, obviously, but I just want to keep an eye on how far away we are. All right, cool. We're actually going to converge with the cargo ship over here. That's kind of cool if it's actually arriving. I don't think we'll see it, unfortunately, but it's still cool to see it, plot out an interception path and everything. Look at that deep space, eh? Nothing around us, but there we go. About to arrive, and hopefully you'll see us pop our thrusters the other way to slow us down. Should be any second now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe arrival will be a little bit different over here. Oh no, there you can see the little thrusters popping there. Though I don't believe they'll be doing enough to counteract all this, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to arrive at Jupiter. Come on now, flip us around. There we go, slowing down slowly but surely. I love this kind of stuff. Huge space nerd over here, so this brings me a lot of joy. Just the little details, as I keep talking about with this game. Just the little details, and now we're rotating to point our thrusters at Jupiter, so we can blow it up too when we vol jump. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my god. The shadows being cast and everything as well. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. But there we are at Jupiter, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at what we can do with regards to our new vol engine, the Ixion. Yes, prepare the Ixion for Tiqqun connection. 3 cycles it'll take, that's not too long, and if we head back on in, we'll see. We've got power available, hull integrity is looking alright, and repairing further and further. Again, work continues as long as you have batteries to power that work, and the batteries were, used up a little bit, but it's not that bad at all. Not that bad at all. I'm glad we built those batteries up and we didn't have to worry about things shutting down, right? Optimal working conditions in Sector 2 still. Sector 1, do we have any more people coming through? One of the reasons I'm tempted to build another docking bay sooner rather than later is to just collect things a bit faster. Mining is happening at an alright rate for the most part, but it's the collection that's extremely slow. And so a few more cargo ships would go a long way in bringing more iron in to keep things balanced, right? How much? Let's see. These guys take 12 workers. Up over here, we have a population of 88, but 78 workers. And how many workers do we actually need at present? If we take a look at population management, we need 73. So add another 12 to that. We should be okay. 85 while having 78. We should be okay. Yeah, sure. You know what? Why don't we go ahead, take a bit of a risk over here, and build up another docking bay. As we get an accident over here. 3 crew members were injured in Sector 2, I thought it said. Let's make sure that gets... Okay, cool. Doesn't need repairing. But let's go ahead and build another docking bay right up against the edge, or do we leave a gap? I'm going to regret leaving a gap, aren't I? Down the line, I'm going to absolutely hate myself for doing it. But again, if goods get picked up and delivered, maybe it's good to have that road over there. Live and learn, right? Sector 2 is a learning opportunity. Let's go ahead and do that, as Vol jump capabilities have been restored. All right, good stuff. Connect the Ixion engine to the Tiqqun via the construction panel in the exterior view. We're going to just hang on until maybe this has been built up. Prioritize the docking bay and our repairs, right? We want to make sure that those things keep going before we focus on construction outside. And again, when we do any construction outside, repairs stop. So I want to make sure we have a bit of a runway as far as that's concerned. But this construction over here will not take too long. 60 alloys isn't the end of the world. We are topped up on iron, so I almost wonder actually if I shouldn't build another one of these steel mills. It is a matter of employing another 30 people, though, so I just don't think we have that kind of wiggle room right now. Everybody will end up overworked and extremely upset, so we're going to avoid that for the time being. But at least integrity is looking pretty good as we flip back to the system map and take a look at the event at Jupiter. Wasn't expecting more. Working together, the crew of the Tiqqun and team of the Galileo have prepared Ixion for connection. Final attachment protocols can be initiated via EVA airlock. All right, excellent. We can end this data listening protocol and take a look at this now. What is this? So we could opt to dismantle the surplus equipment at the Hephaestus site, taking 3 cycles, or we can leave the Hephaestus site as is. No. The Galileo's team will dismantle the site and salvage as many resources as possible. If there are alloys there, I want them. I mean, if there's anything there, I want it. So dismantle away, 3 cycles it'll take, and then we'll move to Saturn and then Neptune just to see what's going on, as separately we have an incoming transmission. What's going on here?
Administrator, we have received a transmission from the Hephaestus PA, Olympia.
Go on.
Tiqqun, Ixion is now in orbit and ready for installation. You are not designed to calculate your own Vol coordinates. Ixion will only permit you to use previously generated coordinates or to follow the Vol signatures of others that have crossed self-similar space. To make your existence worthwhile, you will need to find the coordinates of the exoplanet that Protagoras is looking for, Remus. Vanya was right about the echoes of the future. I bestow upon you this miracle, and with it, release myself so that I may embrace the sleep that was stolen from me.
My, oh my, what do we have here? The echoes of the future? What's that all about? I also like the statement over here, to make our existence worthwhile. Excuse me? All existence is worthwhile. We'll close the transmission there, and I guess that gives us an explanation as to why we'd be limited as to what regions we can and cannot explore moving forward. Well enough. Separately, the Galileo has finished its work at Hephaestus. Let's go ahead and see what we've got over here. Wow, 18 alloys, 2 electronics, 18 food, and 12 polymers as well. Our team has salvaged a number of useful resources from the Hephaestus site. They're now ready for extraction. Excellent stuff. Let's make sure that we are prioritizing the acquisition of alloys, please, and people as well. Still 240 of them available out there. This asteroid belt is not being avoided, is it? No, it's not being avoided. We should be able to come on here. I just can't. Where's my... There it is. What are you doing right now? Carrying just iron. I mean, we do need it, but I would like some more workers as well. Nonetheless, Galileo, let's get you heading over to Saturn to see what's going on. And then we'll go from Saturn over to Neptune to hopefully, again, acquire some more alloys or perhaps science or whatever it might be. Back to the interior. What's up with integrity here? I guess things are slowing down now because we're operating at 55% efficiency. Fair enough. At that point in time, I think I'm comfortable actually attaching the Ixion to our ship then. That will maybe give some relief as well to our alloy production because they'll be, depositing more. Though I say that at the same time, if we take a look at external construction, we'll probably see the Vol engine class Ixion takes... Oh, okay. I was expecting alloys, but no, just electronics and polymers. The last engine built by Dolos The first designed by Frostpunk's team. Let's get it going, yeah. Hull repair will temporarily be paused. That's okay. We are looking okay as far as hull integrity is concerned. I think we've given ourselves enough of a runway. And yeah, we'll see construction go down shortly, I'm sure. First, of course, resources have to be collected and sent on over to this EVA airlock. Or this one. Okay, cool. They will work in tandem. Excellent. Excellent. Hull integrity is still in the positive, but there we go. Construction has begun. So let's take a look at the exterior view just to watch construction go down, because I do quite like how it looks. Hopefully we'll be able to spot it. It should be on the back over here. It'll take maybe a bit of time for it to actually get started. Oh, there we go. So it looks like it's just building over our previous Vol engine, or it's dismantling the old one and replacing it with a new one. Ah, I see. I wonder how many more there are out there. I wonder how many more times we'll be doing this. I wonder what the truth is behind Dolos's attempts at finding a new home for humanity. We knew about, you know, the mission after us, but were they told about a mission after them? I'm not sure. But we are ready now to make a massive jump to reach the Protagoras using the Vol engine. But of course, first, there is this incoming transmission, which says what?
Administrator, we are ready to follow the traces of the Protagoras through self-similar space using the frequencies recovered from Outer Hope's black box. Vol systems have been adapted for the new Ixion class engine. The Tiqqun is now fully equipped to pursue our main objective: ensure humanity's survival by finding the habitable exoplanet named Remus.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. Close that transmission there. And I guess that means we won't actually learn about data listening system policies until we leave our system, which I just don't think we're ready for. There are so many resources still available here. I think we need to focus on, yes, building up our docking bay over here, which is almost done. We'll acquire all of those cryonic pods. We'll get them thawed. We'll hopefully increase our population to a manageable amount, yes, but also to a, you know, like, number that's actually efficiently able to work across both of our sectors for the time being, with maybe some extras for a third sector if one becomes urgently necessary soon too. While down over here, it seems as though we have another event. What's going on? Nihei protocols are online. Stanford checks have been passed. The Ixion engine is fully integrated with Tiqqun systems, and we are ready for ignition. Vol jump coordinates can only be generated by computational machinery utilizing Frostpunk tachyons, a particle found in self-similar space. These calculations are one of the most valuable and best-kept secrets of Dolos. Administrator, we have the jump coordinates to reach the last known location of the Protagoras. That's all good news. I'm curious about self-similar space. I'm not sure if that's a real-world concept at all or not, but the game uses it so smoothly. I'm starting to wonder if it's a real-world concept in, like, you know, theoretical physics or something like that. And I'm curious to look it up and probably find nothing outside of a conversation about Ixion. Nonetheless, acknowledged. We'll get to that when we get to it. There's a lot of caretaking that needs to be done first, and a few more points to explore out there too. Let's get another probe built up, and let's see what's going down here at Saturn. Summary of Saturn data. A structure belonging to the Black Market Society has been discovered on Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Although severely damaged, the site seems to still be active. Surface scans indicate the BMS station extends deep below the surface of Titan. Further data is not available due to the site firing upon the Tiqqun's probe as it approached. Oh. Summary of intelligence on the Black Market Society complex. The Galileo is maintaining orbit around Titan at a safe distance. We could try and make contact, see what's going on. We could lose the Galileo, right? They see us as enemies, and look, with a logo like that, I think I should consider them to be enemies too. Let's be real here. But no, look, if there are survivors out there, it might be a good idea to try and collect them all. Let's make contact over here. It'll take 3 cycles, and hopefully we don't lose the Galileo and all the crew within, as well as the cargo ship is where? Where are you at, buddy? Where you at? You're heading over here to pick up iron, I guess. Do I need... You know what? Let's go ahead and make some adjustments here. Just temporarily, I'm going to go ahead and make iron a lower priority. I want to chase after alloys and people. Alloys and people. I think that's what's most urgent. We could even ship them over from Jupiter. I mean, it's right here. High priority. Let's bring these guys over, and let's hopefully not bring all 200 cryonic pods over before I realize what's going on, because I don't want to just have a stockpile of cryonic pods. Fortunately, At most, we'll have 100 at a time, though they get processed pretty quickly as well, right? Just need to be wary of that. As over here as well, we can maybe consider overworked conditions in Sector 1 for a little bit of time as we research memorials to finish this tier of research. Let's go for it. Memorials. Let's research you. That will then, I think, unlock quite a few options for us, at least in some cases, to get some upgrades done in the middle tier. It looks like maybe there's like a gap. Like the technology tier 2 is required to unlock this. So do we finish tier 2? Well, we've finished tier 2 already. Maybe I'm missing something here. Well, we'll take a look at it later. Either way, memorials is going to be worked on as soon as we turn this on. These guys are being overworked. They're currently neutral as far as stability is concerned, but we should be okay as a new tutorial has popped open. Space travel. I think I might have missed that previously. Space travel says what? System jumps with Ixion. So EKP and system jumps are from earlier, like the tutorial mission and stuff, but system jumps, Ixion says what? Ixion is an upgraded engine based on the Vol engine. A few more decades of research and development has overcome the many issues its predecessor had, like what, blowing up the moon. Similarly, the Ixion engine requires time to charge before being able to perform a jump. During this time, all of the Tiqqun's power is redirected towards the engine. Batteries will activate for the duration of the charge if present. If your battery is empty during this period and a blackout occurs, it will automatically be resolved at the end of the charging period. Okay, so that's all familiar. Jump coordinates. Traveling to a new planetary system requires jump coordinates. These coordinates can be determined from Vol jumps made by other vessels. Man, how many other vessels? Your expedition teams will be instrumental to finding the clues left in the wake of these vessels passing and guide you to your next destination. To charge the Ixion engine, click on the Ixion button located at the bottom of your screen on the planetary system map view. Okay, we're familiar with that. When the charge is finished, commence jump confirmation window will appear. All right, and deterioration. Each Vol jump permanently damages the hull of the Tiqqun, resulting in a reduction to its maximum integrity value. Each Vol jump also results in a permanent increase to the station's hull depletion rate, increasing the ongoing difficulty of maintaining the hull. So, again, we want to make sure we're, optimizing the actual repair work before we dive into another jump and get another negative 20 to our hull integrity per cycle. So that's why I really want to see this thing get done, the docking bay, and I really want to see it build what? More cargo ships. The one mining ship is doing its work at a decent rate, I would say, but maybe 2 more cargo ships is not a bad idea. We'll start with just the 1 more cargo ship, maybe get a second cargo ship here as well, and then 1 more mining ship and do like a 2-to-1 ratio, because if we take a look at the system map, again, resources have been mined. If we actually take a look at the fleet situation here, resources have been mined, they just need to be picked up. They're just out there sitting around chilling doing nothing, and we've actually acquired quite a few people as well. Why don't we go ahead and deprioritize you? Just want to make sure it's a steady flow, not a sudden flood of folks, and a sudden flood of issues as well with overpopulation and all that stuff. But at least we've made a bit of a move there, as down over here, we have an issue at Saturn, which is almost resolved. Okay, I was like, is that a countdown or a count up? It's a count up. Let's send the probe in the meanwhile, launch it in the general direction of another point of interest perhaps, or it's like, do we want to collect ice without knowing what it's for? Do we want to collect any other resources at all? Plan ahead? Doesn't seem like a bad idea, right? There's more iron to be found over here, and some more ice as well. Resource estimate medium, resource estimate high. All right. How about over here, medium, high? I like this because it hits both of them. Let's try that. Let's try that. Both in greens. Yeah. And again, a bit more mining and resource acquisition is not a bad idea. I'm starting to think that 2-to-1 ratio of cargo ships to miners at that docking bay is probably a good call, because it'll allow us to, get more stuff, and soon we'll have it done, and we'll make some adjustments to what it does. While over here, we're going to take a look at Saturn. Summary of intelligence on Black Market Society's complex. After receiving no response to communication attempts, the team landed the Galileo and advanced towards the complex. Security protocols in place. The defenses activated briefly and fired on the team. Fortunately, there seems to have been little remaining power, and they quickly shut down. All right, good. Entering the complex, the team were attacked by strange animals. Recorded footage from the mission shows an emaciated simian amalgam. The team repelled the attack with improvised weapons, and the creatures retreated. Unfortunately, no samples could be recovered. Venturing further into the complex, unsettling works of art and esoteric writing were discovered. Although the station is still pressurized, progress was made difficult due to the lack of any artificial gravity. In addition, A giant fungus has spread throughout the complex, releasing huge volumes of spores into the local atmosphere. Within what appears to be the main entrance hall, a bronze statue of Marduk Council member Giovanni Battista has been erected. Inconsistencies in the reports from different members of the exploration team suggest that recorded information may not be entirely accurate. Any conclusions drawn must be discounted. Did the Marduk Council split, and that caused sort of the fracturing of humanity as well? And what are these weird aliens? Were they experimenting with, mutations and ways to maybe improve human beings? The word amalgam is making me think that. There are some dark things afoot. Resume data listening protocol over here. We could send the team deeper into the station. It's a little scary. It's a little scary, but I think the science team would very much prefer to go in rather than, chicken out. Let's go for it. Send the team deeper into the station. I know I definitely want to at least investigate all of the planets before we leave the system, but part of me also, yes, desperately wants to acquire as many of the resources as possible before we leave, right? Let's be reasonable and understand that things are going to be more difficult as we move further and further along. Now, where are my... Oh, I see. We don't have a stockpile over here for any polymers, so that's why construction over here is not going to actually happen. As an accident happens in Sector 2, it'll be done in... Oh, a little bit of time. It's not the end of the world. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and do some resource management over here and make sure that Sector 2 maintains at least, 20 polymers at any given time? Because that's what we need for ship construction, right? So that makes sense to me. And Sector 1, you are going to, yes, export to Sector 2. We want to maintain how many? I think 50 polymers. Oh, no, 50. No, let's go with 40 polymers makes sense. We'll actually have to start producing polymers if we can't acquire more. But I do believe there's some out there to be had. All right, let's prioritize you. Let's deprioritize you. Get those polymers. Iron, we're topped up pretty much, so we'll slow it down for the time being. Still keep chasing them, but slow it down. And meanwhile, we are hopefully going to awaken 52 workers. Meanwhile, we have a food situation going on over here. What's happening? Oh, through research, we'll be able to produce food in a number of ways. Different food production buildings will have different trade-offs. Crop farms produce food on a large scale and need lots of water to run. There we go. That's why we need ice and water. Mushroom walls transform waste into food. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Reminds me of a science experiment we did in 6th grade. That's really cool. And we've got algae farms. They take a lot of resources to research and build, but they produce great quantities of food. Okay, good stuff. Did that pop as a result of our research over here being completed? Let's turn this off. Still not resuming optimal working conditions, but let's take a look at the next 3. Yes, new upgrades are available for research. Not surprised there. There's the fire station that I was so concerned about acquiring, right? We've got waste treatment center. Can transform either 50 waste into 50 alloy, 50 waste into 20 polymer, or 50 waste into 1 electronics every 10 cycles. 10 cycles is a long time, but what else are we doing with the waste, right? We have the fusion station here as well. Transforms 15 ice into 40 water every 1 cycle and stores it. Wow, that's not bad at all. We've got the colonization training center. Prepares crew for colonization attempts. Colonists are trained in groups of 15 every 5 cycles using 1 electronics. Oh, there we go. Well, I'm glad we were collecting all the silicon. Not that we need it immediately, but hey, good to have it. Then over here we have a legislative strengthening center. Provides +2 stability whilst the stability of a sector is below 0. Interesting. Okay. We have the DLS Center. Unlocks the ability to apply policies within a sector to temporarily address ongoing crises and tracks sector specializations. Gotcha. So we need this before specializing is an option. We have cell housing for up to 125 crew members in minimal quality accommodations. Then down over here we have crop farms and mushroom walls as well. Oh my goodness. Things have really opened up. But we need a lot of science points before we can research any of that. What if we take a look at our, let's say, stockpile small? Can we actually upgrade? Yes, integrated storage bays. Stockpiles can store 10% more resources. It'll take 30 science. What about our cargo ship? EKP optimization. As disruptive as they were in the 2030s, the first versions will quickly become obsolete. This will move cargo ships 10% faster. Improvised repair protocols. They'll likely endure dangerous weather conditions better. Okay, interesting. Lots of options. Science ship. Cool. I mean, lots to look at over here as far as improving our efficiency across a few different things, actually. Ooh, what about Tiqqun hull? No, we need upgrades for our EVA airlock first. Have these been unlocked? Some of them have. Some of them have not. That's cool. Okay, I like how these are categorized. Tell them what they need to hear. Repair efficiency is increased by 5%. Dermal interfacing. Construction speed is increased by 10%. Okay. Lots of options, but they mean nothing until we acquire more science, right? So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the Galileo and what they're up to, because they just completed their task at Saturn, and hopefully nobody died. Venturing deeper within, the team at the Galileo reached a construction site, deserted and almost entirely frozen. Several possible storage areas have been identified, but are blocked by ice. The team could try to break through the ice or restart the station's heating systems in an attempt to thaw out the complex. In one of the storage areas, though, the transparency of the ice, a preserved corpse can be seen. Through the transparency of the ice, a preserved corpse can be seen. Now, see, I'm a little concerned about turning on the heating systems. What does, I mean, again, we know there are spores in the air, right? What are the optimal conditions for whatever is producing these spores to activate, let's say, right? Like, was heating shut down intentionally? Heat has an effect on life, right? In both directions. Too hot, too cold, perfectly hot, perfectly cold, right? There's optimal temperatures for bacteria and fungus and everything. And so I don't want to risk, I think, restarting the station's heating systems, because God knows what else is lurking in there. We could try breaking through the ice instead, though I worry about the preserved corpse. Either way, truth be told. I think if we're going to acquire the corpse, we have to bring it back and use a cryonic center to actually wake it up properly. But it's not in a pod, it's just on ice. So let's break through the ice and hope that there isn't too much trouble waiting for us, as I contemplate building another science ship as well, actually, because, I mean, we need more science to do any research. Right now there's 20 out there, but we're not able to collect any of it. It's okay, it's okay. I think we're fine for the time being. Back to the interior, and back to look at our worker count, 163 and 77. Not too bad. 43 more cryonic pods to open. And again, I just want to point out that, folks, we can't actually choose if we awaken workers or non-workers. They are awoken in whatever way they're awoken. All we can choose is where those workers or non-workers get sent. That's all this is. I saw a couple of comments mentioning it and asking about it, so I just wanted to clarify that that's all that this is. Meanwhile, if we just take a look at our food situation, we are still maintaining a positive balance of food, which is promising, but I just wonder if it's a little too tight for comfort, and if I shouldn't, when we get the chance to do some more research, if I shouldn't rush, like the crop farm or the mushroom wall or something like that, because again, we have spotted plenty of ice out there. We just have to set up the storage for it to actually start collecting it, which again I think we'll do over here, right? Where are my alloys? They're not here because this guy's not actually on. My goodness, foolish me. There we go. That should do the trick. We'll get the cargo ship built up. Hermes will go out and pick up some more cargo, and maybe we get some more mining ships as well. We have 4 stockpiles here. Again, room for a 4th. We could establish more stockpiles up over here, so the distance from resource acquisition to resource holding isn't all that much. And then we'll keep building more and more over here. So we'll store water, or at least we'll store ice somewhere over here with water nearby, I think. I'm not sure how big water facilities actually are. Whereas here we can see a bunch of memorials that we can build. Oh, extra stability. All right, okay. Didn't expect to see these pop up. Oh, right, it's because we researched the memorials. I didn't expect 3 different buildings. That's kind of cool. We don't need it just quite yet, but it's good to know that the option is there. Though over here, we are seeing neutral stability. Why don't we go ahead and send some workers over with population management from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Workers only, please. We have about 13 extra, so let's send 10 workers from 1 to 2. Start that migration, and hopefully people will be a bit more satisfied over here. Again, they're all being awoken here, right? And we have another accident here. Let's go ahead and repair you. Good stuff, good stuff. And the Hermes is ready to work, while the science team has done its job as well. All right, let's go ahead and chase after, additional food? Perhaps. Let's go ahead and prioritize food and carbon with you. And we'll get our polymer refinery up soon, perhaps, just to be able to produce it locally as well, because there's none available out there for the time being, at least. All right. There's our population transfer completed. Excellent. Meanwhile, down here at Saturn, what have we got? The Galileo's team recovered a number of valuable resources. Via biometric data sampling, they identified the preserved corpse as that of Ulysses, administrator of Neptune's Hyperlux station, Thiaki. The body was found with a handwritten letter of farewell and apology to the inhabitants of Tiqqun Station and appears to be unfinished. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna say I'm pretty glad I did not heat things up. I'm a little worried how things would have gone. Though if you do know the answer, feel free to let me know in the comments, but like put a massive spoiler tag at the top and like a bunch of enter so there's space and people have to click read more to see. Because I'm curious, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, right, who doesn't want it spoiled. But let's send the Galileo over to Neptune now. It's done collecting all the science, which is great, but still not nearly enough. And let's see what answers Neptune holds. Though, truth be told, the more we explore, the fewer answers we have, and the more questions we end up with. My goodness. Let's get another probe built, perhaps, just to get some more exploration happening. I'm sure there's other things we could seek out before we leave. Let's get you building. And let's go ahead and see extra hours here and extra hours here as well. People are overall happy, though, so that's promising, but we don't have enough homes. Let's go ahead and build up some more housing with the crew quarters, right? Nothing else that we can actually build to help with this. Pop you down there. Let's get the road extended as well. And I do also wonder, there's so many good technologies to research, right? Because don't forget, we also have access to better housing with cell housing. 125 versus just 15. That is a huge difference. Even with optimized quarters, we can only get 40 crew members in the average quality accommodations, right? And, average quality accommodation as opposed to limited quality. Does that actually improve how they feel? Does it make them happier? Because maybe optimized quarters then are actually better than cell housing, because cell housing is still minimal quality. Questions. But that takes us to 55 crew members in a single set of crew quarters versus still, twice as much approximately with cell housing. Stuff to consider. But again, we don't have enough science for it, so there's no point pondering it yet. Let's go ahead and launch this probe. And see if we can't find anything else worth chasing. Launch probe. Any other points of interest? I think we've consumed them all, or spotted them all, I guess, I should say. We've got some more ice out there. Again, collecting ice sounds like a good idea, just so we have it for the future when we're able to actually produce water, right? Huge deposit over here I thought I saw. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. More iron I thought I saw. Some silicon as well. All right. I think we'll chase after maybe the ice that we saw that was closest to us first. Because again, I don't want to stay here for too long either, right? I want to make sure we're making progress in the storyline as well. Don't want to slow us down by too much. There's a high resource estimate there. What about over here? High as well. All right, let's pop on over to here because it is closer. And let's take a look at our fleet as well. Do we want to start chasing after water? The one mining ship is focused on iron. There's still plenty of iron out there. Why don't we start mining water and deprioritize iron down to priority level 3. Just so that we are spreading our love a little bit, right? And acquiring some of these other things that we will need down the line as well. Though I do want to keep an eye on how much iron we actually have on the ship, as well as available out there, right? This number is of particular importance because when this starts to get low, we need to start mining it again. But let's take a look at what our probe found. Yes, just a bunch of ice. Okay, fair enough. Sounds good to me. That's our cargo ship, the Hermes, heading on over to where here to pick up carbon. Okay, fair enough. You do you. As another accident has kicked off. Fantastic. Down over here, we've arrived at Neptune. Have we actually completed our work over here? What can we see? Summary of Neptune data. Our communication systems have detected faint signals transmitting from what appears to be an old luxury station on Triton. Transmission analysis pulled a few data fragments encoded with signals. They mentioned public disorder, food supply problems, and frequently referenced the name Ulysses. Oh, hello. Transmission from the Galileo's team. The Tiqqun Station has been almost entirely dismantled. The few areas left suggest that those who lived here were swimming in opulence. The place is huge. We found a sealed room protected by heavily armored blast doors. Dents in the door's metal suggest that others have unsuccessfully tried to gain entry. Jakob Eisenman recommends the use of explosives. Given the state of the station, I myself think it's a bad idea. Listen, we've already lost some science crew out there taking risks, so this is maybe not a good idea. We could provoke a structural collapse and salvage what's left. We could use explosives to try and breach the sealed room. We could try and use Ulysses' biometric data to open the sealed room. Hello. Or we could try to collect what remains. You know what? I think we approach things in the right order. I guess we could try to use his biometric data to open the sealed room. That makes sense to me. It'll take 4 cycles, but recorded sample data from the corpse of Ulysses will provide authorization to simply open the sealed room. Excellent stuff. Oh, I love that. I love that. This game is... It really is something special. The more I play, the more I fall in love. Like, it's great. You know, I could have easily done this the other way around and done nothing but lived a life of regrets as a crew member has died in an accident. Are you for real? Are you for real? Well, working conditions, at least down here, are optimal. If we just take a look at population management, we still have many more workers than we actually need. So the cryonic pods are working in our favor. This is not bad. This is not bad. Let's go ahead and send maybe 20 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Make sure they are workers, though. Start that migration. Because, again, over here, we're going to build more factories and stuff, right? Let's go ahead and repair this stockpile as well. And let's go ahead and build up some additional stockpiles, too. Again, to store water and things like that. So we'll need, what, a stockpile small. What do I want to put over here? Where will I fit the various things? Do I want trash to go here instead, eventually? Do I want to... I mean, let's take a look at our factories really quickly. Let's take a look at the... polymer factory, refinery rather. Okay, so it'll fit actually rather comfortably here, which is nice. It would also fit nicely over here because I don't think another EVA airlock fits over here, right? Docking bay does not fit. EVA airlock does not fit, and sorry, probe launcher does not fit. So why don't we go ahead and build another refinery over here for our polymers, which means we'll be able to fit stockpiles up against the wall, actually blocking off road access there. But you know what? I think that'll have to be okay. Okay, let's check something out. There's a new request awaiting our attention. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Just want to plan for the time being. If I put you down there, then I get some stockpiles going as well. They will be able to go there and there. Okay, excellent. So then our road can come through here, down here, and then connect over. We're not going to do that just quite yet because I don't actually want this to be built up. I just wanted to see if the layout would work. And so that leaves what? That leaves the electronics factory, which would fit, I mean, oh god, I don't like this because it encroaches in the space for our docking bays, right? So why don't we go ahead and plan to put you down, I guess, up over here. Right. If we do that, then the road can continue down this way, and we'd be able to put down additional stockpiles over here, fitting right on either side of the door. So we can pop one over there and one over here. These guys would do silicon and electronics. So silicon, electronics, and then carbon and polymers, right? All stored over there. These guys are iron and alloys. We have food being stocked up over here. And these guys would be switched over to, I guess, waste and ice and water. Maybe. We'll see how big the water treatment and stuff is, and then we'll make plans accordingly. But this is feeling pretty good for the time being. Yeah. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good for the time being. All right, good stuff, good stuff. That's just planning, though. I don't want to actually do anything there until we have... oh, we have plenty of alloys. Well, we need more workers. We need more workers before we start overworking people. But yes, what do we have at this event over here? Administrator, Klein Munchie algorithms have identified that staying too long in one system exacerbates death. Oh no, dead Earth sickness. This collective trauma will not begin to heal till the crew can set foot on their new home. We cannot stay in a system that holds no hope for humanity. All right, good to know. We can't stay put for too long, so we must, yes, move or die. Oh no. -1 stability. That is a permanent affliction. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't like it. Is that forcing us to pull the trigger a little bit sooner? I mean, maybe. But first, let's go ahead and build up some additional crew quarters over here. Just because I've noticed that there are 11 homeless in this sector right now. So let's go ahead and put you down over here, sure. Let's get the road continuing to make sure it actually gets built. That'll cover our homelessness and leave room for a few more besides. But yes, I almost wonder if it's not time to make a move. I mean, we have left a lot out there. If we take a look at the planetary system map, we definitely want to finish our work at Neptune first. But let's see here. We have 1,500 iron just hanging out there, doing absolutely nothing. We have 174 cryopods we've left as well. We can't do that. That's unacceptable. Let's chase after those cryopods. Those are survivors. We have to take them with us. There's plenty more ice and iron and stuff as well. All right, let's see if we can't figure this out. Maybe we need another cargo ship just to start hauling goods that much faster so that we are able to leave that much more quickly. I feel like that's the right call. Let's go ahead and make sure we're no longer avoiding the debris field up over here, because it does have 300 cryonic pods. That's a lot of housing we'll have to build, but I don't want to leave people behind. That seems like a terrible idea. Who knows if we'll find people in similar numbers elsewhere. That's a lot of potential workers that we're leaving behind. But for the time being, yes, we can go ahead and take a look at Neptune and all of the resources that need collecting before we do depart with the Ixion engine. Folks, all that and more will have to wait until next time. This is where we're calling it a session. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this one, because I most certainly did. As always, if you had a good time, leave a like, leave a comment down below to let me know. And of course, again, if you've been enjoying the series, don't hesitate to subscribe either, just to stay up to date with notifications and this series as well as others alike. I'm a big fan of colony management, survival, city building type games, and you're going to see many of them on the channel, with Ixion, of course, currently being my muse, I suppose. It is such a good time. Folks, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.